Pain and suffering is never easy, and the struggles in life can sometimes jolt you to refocus and reset. Please listen to these everyday people telling their everyday stories of why they are thankful, even during a global pandemic. This is Why I'm Thankful.
Hi there, my name is Yvette McDonald. I'm the founder and CEO of Just Be, a wonderful women's group. I've known Carlton for about 15 years. I met him at an event called ACBN, and he was the marketing coordinator, and it was an event that I attended, and he was really nice, very welcoming, very engaging, and he's not changed at all, even now to this day. I get on really well with his wife, Dawn. We both share the same birthday and laugh at the same things. And our relationship has just been amazing. Yeah, it's great to have people like that in your life. There are many things in my life to be thankful for, but I like to keep things real. You see, life for me wasn't a bed of roses. I grew up in a very small town called Preston, Lancashire. I'm a northern lass. And I'm from a very, very big family. But even when you're from a big family, you can still feel lost. You can still feel lonely, and you can still feel isolated. And that was me. You see, I grew up in a household where there was a lot of marital problems. I grew up where there was a lot of arguments. My dad and his infidelities cost us greatly in our home. And my mum suffered really badly. And as a result, our childhood wasn't that great. Seeing our mum suffer, not only did it affect me, it affected my brothers. But throughout my early years, my teens and later in life, my world just seemed to be the same. Hard, a failed marriage, leaving that marriage and having to raise my young daughter on my own, to put food on the table, and just struggling. Life was just a struggle. My life was full of things like shame, and I've been suicidal. I felt isolated and lonely, betrayed by many, many people. I suffered with anxiety and depression, eating disorders, but I'm so thankful. Who has a praying grandmother? She was taken away from me so early in my life. But that praying grandmother who loved all her grandchildren but made you feel special, like you was the only one that was around. That grandmother you could go to sit at her feet and glean information from. And that's where my love of the seniors comes in. But I'm putting a pause there, and I'm fast forwarding to the last 13 years when God whispered 2 words in my ears: just and be. You see, I didn't know them 2 words together, just be, was going to have a massive impact on my life. And you know the saying, if I'd known then what I know now, I wish I'd never started it. But you know what? God has provided and given me everything, all the tools that I needed to do this, to run this wonderful group. So I'm thankful for the group. I'm thankful that through Just Be, the events we do, which are focusing on isolation and loneliness in the community for women, all shape, size and description, that women, seniors, the elderly, the marginalised, the haves and the have-nots, that they can all come to an event that I organise, and in that event, they can all just be themselves. I'm thankful that God made me the CEO, the founder, the chief cook and bottle washer. I'm so glad that he put me on this road. That hasn't been easy. It's not been easy running a group like this. God only gives you as much as you can bear at any one time. But I'm also thankful for this journey, because I wouldn't have been able to run this women's group without the husband that I have, which is my second husband. Of 26 years we've been together. See, he prays for me day and night. And what he actually does is, he pushes me, and he's a strength behind a lot of the work that I do. And he provides, he protects. Because since last year, the 1st of April, I've I've not been in the corporate world, and he's looked after our home, and with God's help, we've always had food on our table. And not only that, which is amazing for my household, is that I've got 3 wonderful daughters, and they're my biggest cheerleaders. They too pray for me. They too support the work that I do. And I don't know what I'd do without my family unit. So I'm thankful for that, for the home, for the that I have, for the love that I have around me. And more recently, I was thankful because about 5 weeks ago, my dad was diagnosed to die. In 2 weeks, the doctors gave him 2 weeks to live. 5 weeks later, he's still here. It's God that gives breath in our bodies, and he's the one that tells us when our life's going to end. And he's still here with us now. So isn't that something to be grateful for? The ups and the downs, the ins and the outs. I'm so grateful that, just like an architect is about to build a skyscraper. You see, the architect, he didn't just think about the color, the shape, the size. He had to think about, when it's up there in the high stories that are there, whether it could withstand the weather, whether it could withstand the storms that are going to come against it. And I look at the architect that's building that skyscraper, just like I look at God. Because you see, when God laid down the plans for my life, when he gave the foundations for my life, he knew the pressures that I'd be under. He knew the storms that I'd have to go through. He knew every hurt, every disappointment, every mistake that was going to happen. But God designed me to be strong enough to go through all of this. For my foundations to be deep enough so I could withstand anything that was going to come against me. And that my inner core and my being, Lord, was centered around him, centered around my family, that those that are around me could help me. You see, I am blessed, and I am just thankful for that. I'm just thankful that through Just Be, I can give back because I know God has given me so much. Now you know why that makes me so thankful.